NFL film series All or Nothing featuring the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, available on Amazon. That starts July 1st. The 8-episode series follows the Cardinals throughout the entire 2015 season. One of their stars, Patrick Peterson, defensive back, joining us in studio. What was the easiest part to let them see and the toughest part to let this film crew see?
The easiest part was definitely practice. The toughest part was probably letting the cameras come home with you and letting them, letting the audience, the world see what we do.
So this is you and your wife?
Yep.
And what are they, like conversations?
Conversations, me getting the nursery ready for the baby. Then
Wait, did you do the remodeling?
Nah, I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah, okay. The wife did the remodeling. Most of the picking out, and we had some because I was in mid-season, so I didn't have time to do all that stuff.
Okay.
So I got a pass, but us being in the going through the
pregnancy,
going through the labor, that was pretty cool. Then when she got here, going to her first game. It was pretty cool.
So wait, so the cameras were there in the delivery room?
No, they wasn't there in the delivery room. But I gave them some footage from my phone.
Oh, you took footage?
Yeah.
That's pretty intense, though.
Yeah, but it's nothing too crazy. It's nothing.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. Yeah, it's nothing over the top.
But did people try to prepare you for the birth of your daughter? Like, this is what's going to happen, or because I try to tell people once you're in that emergency room. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
And then you just see there were doctors coming in and doors that opened up, and I didn't know there were doors. And next thing you know, there's a baby in your arms.
Yeah, it all happened so quickly, but no one prepared me for that moment. But
did you cry?
I didn't. Well, I did cry. I shed one tear once the doctor pulled her out. And I first saw her because obviously, you've been waiting so long just to see what she looked like. And obviously to have your first kid is definitely a joy. But I did shed one tear. But it was nothing like once they start giving her like the pain meds and all that stuff, then that's when the intensity definitely picks up a lot once that part starts to happen.
Now, your daughter's name is Peyton?
Yep, Peyton.
And that is Peyton Manning?
Yeah, my wife, Peyton Manning, is from New Orleans, and my wife is from New Orleans, and my wife loves Peyton Manning as a quarterback. And
Wait, how's this go over as a defensive back that she loves Peyton Manning?
Well, she's been a Peyton Manning fan for quite a while, so that's the only pass that I give her of being a Peyton Manning
Wait, when
fan.
she says, I want to name our baby after Peyton Manning, your response was?
I was actually okay with it. It started with a P, and it's spelled different. It's spelled in a very, very unique way, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's Paityn. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Peyton is just something that stuck with me.
What if she said, I want to name the baby after Cam Newton?
That's not a very appealing name for a girl.
No, Cameron.
Cameron?
And especially after the playoff loss, if she had said...
I was like, you got to be kidding me.
He's Patrick Peterson of the Cardinals joining us. The series on Amazon starts July 1st. It's All or Nothing featuring the Arizona Cardinals. It's an 8-episode series. But have you looked at that playoff loss to Carolina?
I did.
How tough?
It was very tough. But, watching that game, it was parts for us to get back into it. But, I just thought that we dug ourselves in such deep of a hole that we couldn't get back. And those guys did a great job of keeping the momentum and making sure that we didn't do anything to get anything going. But it was a very, very tough loss. We're definitely looking forward to getting past it during this season, and hopefully we can take the next step forward.
If I said you could face Cam Newton or Russell Wilson, who would you rather face?
I mean, both of those guys are tough, because, Russell does a great job of creating that second chance with his feet as far as not running. I mean, he runs when he can or when he wants to, but he's looking to pass first and foremost. And Cam Newton is the guy that can wear and tear your defense down with his power. So Russell Wilson is much more finesse, and Cam Newton is a much powerful quarterback. But I'd rather not face neither one of them because it's tough to face a dual quarterback. It
But
really is.
But who frustrates you more out of that group?
Russell.
He does.
As far as a secondary, Russell, because he's in the pocket for 4 seconds. The next thing you know, he runs to one sideline, and the next sideline, he has the ball in his hand for 15 plus seconds. And as a DB, that's tough.
Because you can eventually catch Cam.
Right.
Russell is a little more elusive.
Yeah, man. He's very, very dangerous when he's back there playing that backyard football.
Who talks to you? Does anybody talk trash, quarterback-wise?
Nah.
No quarterback says anything. Like Brady sometimes will get into a defensive player's face and say something.
I never got into it with a quarterback, but receivers all the time.
Who's first and foremost there on the list that you
receivers?
know you're going to have a conversation?
My first game was Steve Smith, and I had a very, very long game with Steve Smith running his mouth at me, and he had a big game at that. So the only good thing about it, we end up winning that game, and I had the last laugh with the 89-yard punt return for the touchdown. But Steve Smith.
Did you say anything to Steve?
I didn't because Larry, me being a rookie, this is my first start, first game, September 11, I believe. 9/11 at the time. So Larry's telling me all week, man, Patrick, you have to be quiet. Don't say anything to get him.
Larry Fitzgerald says, be cool.
Just be cool. Don't say anything to get him going. You know, he's a little Tasmanian devil. Just let him be. And I let him be, and he slowly started to get under my skin, and I didn't let him get there, but it was a fun game. It was definitely one of the games to remember.
But do you want to be engaged with somebody? Like, do you get better if somebody is giving you, talking to?
In my opinion, I do, because, when I was in high school, that's all guys did, because, with me being a bit shot, everybody's taking their shots at me. So it was always, it always added fuel to the fire to me when someone always jabbing at me, poking at me, trying to get under my skin, and it just always found a way to make me better.
But do you understand the Odell Beckham and Josh Norman, like it could escalate to something like that?
I would never let it escalate to anything like that, because I respect the game. I believe, that was kind of out of hand.
Oh, it was out of hand, all right. I mean, that got to be dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I definitely wouldn't let it get that far, because, like I said, I definitely respect the Shield far too much, and definitely with it being a national televised game. So.
Oh, nationally televised changed everything.
No, not really, but, like I said, I definitely respect the game, and, by it being national televised, it's just more small audience watching it live,
Who do you not want to see lined up next, the opposite of you?
Receiver?
Yeah.
I take them all on.
But is there one that you just say, man, I got a long day?
That Antonio Bryant, man. Antonio Brown. He's just so quick. And the thing that intrigues me the most about Antonio, that he does a great job of changing his aiming point as far as a defensive back, by my aiming point being, the pec to the armpit. He does a great job of hiding that at times.
Now, what do you mean, pec to the armpit?
This is my aiming point up here.
So by your heart.
Exactly.
A little bit above that.
Exactly. And,
that's his aiming point?
That's my aiming point for where I want.
Oh, you're going to hit him.
Yeah, where I want to hit him as far as in my press technique. And he does a great job of hiding that. And another thing that he does really, really good at, he's always running. He's never stopped. Like, he's always running in and out of the huddle. And he does a great job of trying to wear and tear the defensive back down so he can have and going against him this year, and that's how I can see why he have those big games so late in games, because he does a great job of his conditioning, and he does a great job of wearing the defensive back down.
He's a tough kid.
He is very tough.
That hit that he took in Cincinnati, like, I didn't realize it at the time that he got clipped pretty good. I mean, he got
banged up.
Yes.
Yeah, then his head hit the turf as well. Yeah, he got banged up pretty well.
The NFL film series All or Nothing featuring the Cardinals is available on Amazon starting July 1st. It's a 8-episode series. It follows the Cardinals throughout the entire 2015 season. So unlike Hard Knocks, Hard Knocks does preseason.
Right.
This was regular season for you. Was it weird, though, to see cameras like all the time? Did you behave differently when you see the cameras?
In the beginning stage, it was kind of weird, seeing cameras there every day, all day, because, that's something we definitely wasn't accustomed to. But as time, passed on, the cameras started to grow on us. You know, the cameras almost seemed like furniture to us that we didn't mind it. We almost forgot that the cameras was there. So we didn't behave different. We still said some of the things that we wanted to say. Coaches still got on us the way they needed to. So it definitely it's definitely going to be a PG-13 version for sure.
Now I noticed here in the man cave, you looked at the Larry Bird picture over your shoulder with Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale, and I said, "Are you a basketball fan?" You said, "Big basketball fan, but you're a Kobe fan."
I am.
And so Kobe was your Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Did you ever meet Kobe?
I haven't. I haven't met Kobe, but I had the opportunity to meet and play golf with Michael Jordan a couple times.
How was that?
Awesome.
That
was fun.
Did he trash talk?
I was on his team.
Oh, okay. So you were lucky.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was very lucky, and he was definitely giving it to Dwight Freeney and who was Ken Griffey Jr.
He's not afraid to give it to anybody.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But my favorite moment of Michael Jordan, it was a 90-foot putt. Kid you not, in the rough. First cut, and he said, before he hit the plate, he said, only 2 people in the world can make this putt. And he said, me and Tiger Woods. And I kid you not, he drained it. Only MJ, right?
What was it about Kobe, though, that you liked?
He reminded me so much of Michael Jordan, off the clips that I watched, because I wasn't able to, I didn't have the chance to watch Michael play because, I'm fairly young. I was born in the 90s, or 90 to be exact. And watching the clips and watching Kobe Bryant play, he reminded me so much of him, and the tenacity that he played, the anger that he played.
So you're 8 years old and you fall in love with the Lakers.
Yeah, I was like, that guy, like, he's my favorite basketball player.
Could you imagine Kobe as a football player?
I can. He will be like a Tyrann Matthews, like the way his attitude.
Yeah, but Kobe's 6'6".
That's what I was going to say. His height is a little different. If he was a little shorter, maybe like 6'2"-ish, I could see him playing, maybe corner. Especially in this day and age, you need a big cornerback.
He'd want to be a wide receiver.
Probably so.
But
he's the guy that needs the ball.
Could you? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Could you build a good football team from basketball players? Or are they
tough.
too tall?
Yeah, I think those guys.
Because leverage is so important.
Right. I think those guys are just way too big.
Like Shaq as a nose tackle.
Yeah, you can't. I don't see it.
Shaq couldn't play nose tackle?
Maybe he possibly could, but I just don't see it. I see Shaq as a tackle. I mean, I see basketball players as offensive linemen.
How about LeBron?
LeBron could possibly be a tight end, but I saw some video of I believe they was playing the Raptors and they were throwing the ball around in the arena. He was dropping them. I don't know. I don't know if he was joking around, but he wasn't catching those balls.
He was
quite
all-state wide receiver.
Yeah,
in Ohio.
Yeah. High school.
Long time ago.
But he's a great athlete, though. Hell of an athlete.
But all it takes is one hit. And
that's what I'm saying.
Like you find out.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the moment of reality when you hit them, and then all of a sudden they go, "Oh!"
Like real hits for 17 weeks straight. Like,
yeah.
Could you take that?
You ever heard somebody cry when you hit them?
Nah.
You ever heard like groans or moans?
No, because you always hear like after the fact, but like when you're in the moment, like everything just go completely quiet. Like I don't hear anything.
Is that the best kind of hit when you like it's so smooth, like it doesn't feel anything?
Well, I'm always in that moment. Like once like the quarterback says hike, I don't hear nothing, like anything, until like maybe the ball is coming to me or like right after. Then that's when I kind of tune back into what's going on in the crowd and on the field at the same time.
When you're back with a punt return, and you get to see the whole field there, you get to create whatever you want to create. How much freedom? What's that feeling like when that ball is in the air and you're not quite sure where you're going, but you gotta make a decision really quickly?
That's being a punt returner to me is so much fun because being a defensive back, we barely get an opportunity to get our hands on balls unless you're getting challenged, 15 to 20 times a game. But when you get an opportunity to get back there and field the punt, it's nothing like it because, like you said, you have, unless you get a great punter like the guy with the Rams who can put you in tight spots, but when you back there and you get an opportunity to feel that ball and run to spots where it's unpredictable, you kind of feeling into that into those spots on the field.
Have you ever been tackled by a punter?
I have.
Oh man.
Actually, it was the one to break the NFL record against Seattle Seahawks. That was going to be for the fifth.
That Ryan? Is that his name?
Yeah, for the 5th punt return to break the NFL record, and I got tripped up by the punter. He didn't even tackle me. That's the sad thing about it. He didn't even. There it is, right there. Oh, that's not him. I missed that tackle, but he didn't even tackle. He literally whiffed me on my thigh, and I fell.
How soft are you that? Come on.
I was, first of all, Dan, I was already going down. If we can pull up the clip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was already going down, and he got me, and man, that was.
You were going to score another touchdown.
That would have been for the record, man. I would have been all along at the top. I think it's 4 of us with 4 touchdowns. So,
what does Deion Sanders still mean to defensive backs now? Because it feels like that memory of Deion still is the most important player at that position that we've ever had.
That's like Michael Jordan. You know, when you talk to Kobe, you know, who he wanted to be like. You know, you talk to, Russell Wilson, LeBron James, who they wanted to be like. Michael Jordan. And that's how it is in football as well, as a defensive back. Who do you want to be like? Who do you want to emulate your game after? Deion Sanders, because he was the guy that transcended the game into a whole nother perspective. You had the Willie Browns, the Darryl Greens.
Is Revis in that conversation?
No question. No question. I believe Revis definitely got it back to where it needed to be. Having the seasons that he had, because, you had the D'Angelo Halls, but you didn't, they wasn't doing some of the things what Darrell Reeves was doing, like taking guys completely out of the game. But some of the things what Deion Sanders was able to do to take interceptions for 6, to come back and get on offense, the next thing you know, go back on punt return and kick return. The guy definitely did something different. That's why I wanted to wear the number 21 and do some of the things he did as well in the NFL.
I like that. The NFL film series, All or Nothing, featuring the Arizona Cardinals, available on Amazon starting July 1st. The 8-episode series follows the Cardinals throughout the entire 2015 season, including the birth of Peyton Peterson.
Yep.
So always great to see you, Patrick. Thanks for joining us.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.